Yeah, it's called a cherubim.
I can look over my glasses as
Huh?
well.
Cherubim, right? The cherubim, or the cherub, or cherubim, it's spelled with a K. It's got 4 wheels on it, and it's got a round table on the top that rotates. And you would think it just travels on 4 wheels and that's it, but it doesn't. What it does, see these statues? Egyptian statues have got a huge weight on the bottom, yeah? So the weight, imagine this is your statue, and the weight is that this is full of water, right? So this is balancing the centre of mass of all of this machine, plus the statue is all over this axle here. So you can lift it up, right? And if I put more in, it reaches what you call equilibrium, where it'll come halfway up. It'll just keep rising and rising and rising and rising. Normally, if something's balanced, like a seesaw, tip the other, this reaches its equilibrium. So you can change the wheels, right? Or you can walk it to the side. So you take the wheels off and you use these pads that's underneath it. And in Ezekiel, in the Old Testament, it says the machine has feet shaped like a lamb's foot or a calf's foot. Not a lamb's foot, it's a calf's foot. Right? So in normal terrain, you just push it along on the wheels. But when you come across soft sand, you take the wheels off, right? And then you can walk it, right? Then you spin it round. And walk it again. That's on these feet, right? So you can take the wheels off and you walk it on the feet. So the concept's quite easy to grasp now, isn't it? Right? Now, with this being a cherubim,
what's that replicating that?
This
big block of sandstone.
No, it's replicating a statue. That weight on the end. Yeah. These are Egyptian statues, yeah, okay. And they're normally on a huge plinth. Right. So they're on a plinth for a reason. The plinth compensates for the weight because there's the balance point there. Yeah. But you're trying to lift up all of this machine now, right? So you need a lot of weight in a short space to lift the balance to the rest of this machine. So although it looks like it's on 4 wheels, the weight is distributed over the 4 wheels. It's not. It's only distributed, say, 95% over the rear wheels there, or these could be the rear wheels, depending on which way it goes. So that's exactly what it is. Now, for the past, how many years, Al? 3 years, 4 years? We've just thought it didn't have wheels. But I bought a book by a guy called Mario Belingo, who's an authority on the Bible, on the Old Testament. He translated the Hebrew Bible for the Pope, for the Catholic Church. And he discovered that this machine was flying. And his narrative is that it's a flying saucer. But it's not a flying saucer, it's a machine that sort of flies, but doesn't. The wheels are off the ground and it can move. And if you rotate it, right, and then stop it from rotating, whatever that is, you can walk it.
Well, this is only a very small.
Yeah, and it's made out of pine.
It's made out of pine.
It's made out of pine. In the Bible, it says it was made out of acacia wood.
Yeah, it's very welding machines.
No. So, but the current thinking is that he didn't have the wheel, and he didn't have this, and he didn't have that. But I started off with.
Tell them about the ball bearings.
Yeah. Oh. Well, it started off.
That's crucial.
Yeah, see the Stonehenge. This is modelled on Stonehenge. If you look at Stonehenge, if you imagine this, once it's in equilibrium, the folk of the day would have thought, because it's balanced, it doesn't move. That's its spirit. So the spirit is within the centre of the wheel there, right? Because if you try and lift all that up, you go. It's too heavy to move, it's too heavy to lift, but it's quite easy to move.
Yeah, yeah.
So they said in the Bible, it says the Spirit is within the wheels, right? So you've got to imagine now that when somebody says that the Spirit left me and I fell to the floor, he's saying that his spirit has left him, his equilibrium, he can't stand up, he's fell to the deck. But I started this with this thing. This was in the foundation deposits in Hatshepsut's temple. There's lots of them. I would say hundreds, but there's quite a few. And to me, that they looked like they were in pairs. And I made a pair. I made that pair in about 2006. Not knowing what they were, I just made them. So I thought you could rock and gain height, because I was interested in the pyramids and stuff. I thought, well, you put a stone on top and you'd rock it and you'd gain height that way. And that's the academic thinking now, is that, well, one of the theories is it's that. I come across a paper where some guy said that it said it had eyes all round, and then he's associated Ezekiel's wheels with. And this is when I'd started. I had two of these because they looked like they were in pairs. I had two, and I was walking the carpets across the ground on a plank. So I had one, two, well, that one, and I attached the plank, and then I put a roll of carpets on the top, and I was walking it, and I went, oh, this is a good method. Maybe that's how they did it. And I was throwing carpet tiles underneath so it didn't damage the runner. So then I said, well, because the carpet's on these two rockers, the bit in the middle, that's the bit I'm lifting. Because this side and this side counterbalance each other, don't they? So I'm just lifting the piece in the middle. So I then thought, if I could move the weight over one rocker, it would be easier to move, because it'd be totally balanced then, you know what I mean? I'm not lifting a bit in the middle. And then slide it down the other way. But then I thought, if I'm sliding it and it's got a big statue on it, it could slide and come crashing. So the easiest way is to rotate it. So next to these, in these foundation deposits in Hatshepsut's temple, were like stone rollers. And they think they're makeup jars because they contained oil. And malachite. Malachite's a green stone that they used to put on for makeup. But malachite, I think, is also a bearing, because it's easily carved, like a pinpointer to keep this bearing in. So that's what I was thinking about. And well, the model that's on the table there, that's got like tapered roller bearings in there. But this one's got ball bearings. And at one point I said, well, I'll just put ball bearings in it. And then I saw a plan of Stonehenge, which had 50-foot Aubrey holes. And I went, and then it had a ditch around the outside. And I said, maybe the building, the plan of this machine on the ground, and that the sacred bit in the middle, where all the stones are, that is the ceremonial place where the spirit lies, because they think the spirit is within the wheels. Because I think they built this with Stonehenge, the same machine. So going back, is it 2 years now? I contacted a girl contacted me, Johanna, and she said, could she use it on her YouTube channel? So she did, by all means. I said, I'm crap at promoting my stuff. So she promoted it on her YouTube channel, and then I phoned the BBC. I didn't phone the BBC. I emailed them, said, it's got like 60,000 views in 3 days. You're interested? It looks like it's going to go viral. So it did go viral. But again, I didn't know this thing had wheels. I just thought it walked, and that was it. So I got not slated online, but with comments. Why don't you put wheels on it? Why don't you do this? And loads of suggestions and stuff. But I said, well, I've not seen it where it says there's wheels. Anyhow, fast forward 3 years or 2 years, and I bought this book by Mario Belingo, and it said that the cherubim have specific things. Is that they've got faces, and they've got eyes, and they've got wheels. When it doesn't move under its, and he specifically says, when it doesn't move under its own mode of transport, it's carried on a special cart. That was like a light bulb moment for me then. That Christ, they can put wheels on this thing, So that's where we are today. So I think this is what they had. If I can get, I've got a Bible there, but if you come round this side, you'll see it's got what you could describe as a face. Where the axle comes out, you can see it's like a mouth. Then there's a lion on the right and an ox on the left and an eagle in the middle. So the problem with this machine is when you're using it, if I said to you, oh, just go to the right or go to the left, you'd start getting lost. The description in Ezekiel, he said there's a lion on the face. It has 4 faces, obviously 1, 2, 3, 4. The lion is on the face of the lion is on the right, and the face of the ox is on the left. And it doesn't mention where the eagle is, so I'm assuming that it's in the middle, and it makes up a face. So if you've got your men running around, because this is supposed to be 15 foot, 14 foot high, so it's a huge machine. But have you been to Egypt and seen the statues out there? Massive they are. No. So to them, this would look like a godly machine. You know what I mean? Yeah. So when they're trying to move it, the men would probably be this end. You know, because when it's down low, they could move it when it's low. You obviously need a bloody giant to be that end. 14 or 15 foot high. So, in brief, that's that machine.